A sinkhole, also known as a sinkhole, sink, swallow hole, shakehole, swallet or doline, is a depression or hole in the ground caused by some form of collapse of the surface layer. Some are caused by karst processes, for example, the chemical dissolution of carbonate rocks or suffosion processes. Sinkholes may vary in size from 1 to 600 am both in diameter and depth, and vary in form from soil-lined bowls to bedrock-edged chasms. Sinkholes may be formed gradually or suddenly, and are found worldwide. The different terms for sinkholes are often used interchangeably. Formation. Natural processes. Sinkholes may capture surface drainage from running or standing water, but may also form in high and dry places in specific locations. The formation of sinkholes involves natural processes of erosion or gradual removal of slightly soluble bedrock by percolating water, the collapse of a cave roof, or a lowering of the water table. Sinkholes often form through the process of suffosion. Thus, for example, groundwater may dissolve the carbonate cement holding the sandstone particles together and then carry away the lax particles, gradually forming a void. Occasionally a sinkhole may exhibit a visible opening into a cave below. In the case of exceptionally large sinkholes, such as the Mynheer Copyright Sinkhole in Papua New Guinea or Cedar Sink at Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky, an underground stream or river may be visible across its bottom flowing from one side to the other. Sinkholes are common where the rock below the land surface is limestone or other carbonate rock, salt beds, or in other rocks, such as gypsum, that can be dissolved naturally by circulating groundwater. Sinkholes also occur in sandstone and quartzite terrains. As the rock dissolves, spaces and caverns develop underground. These sinkholes can be dramatic, because the surface land usually stays intact until there is not enough support. Then, a sudden collapse of the land surface can occur. Artificial processes. Sinkholes also form from human activity, such as the rare collapse of abandoned mines and salt cavern storage in salt domes in places like Louisiana, Mississippi and Texas. More commonly, sinkholes occur in urban areas due to water main breaks or sewer collapses when old pipes give way. They can also occur from the overpumping and extraction of groundwater and subsurface fluids. Sinkholes can also form when natural water drainage patterns are changed and new water diversion systems are developed. Some sinkholes form when the land surface is changed, such as when industrial and runoff storage ponds are created. The substantial weight of the new material can trigger an underground collapse of supporting material, thus causing a sinkhole. Occurrence. Sinkholes are frequently linked with karst landscapes. In such regions, there may be hundreds or even thousands of sinkholes in a small area so that the surface as seen from the air looks pockmarked, and there are no surface streams because all drainage occurs subsurface. Examples of karst landscapes dotted with numerous enormous sinkholes are the Camauan Mountains and Marmo Plateau. The largest known sinkholes formed in sandstone are Cima Humboldt and Cima Martel in Venezuela. Some sinkholes form in thick layers of homogeneous limestone. Their formation is facilitated by high groundwater flow, often caused by high rainfall. Such rainfall causes formation of the giant sinkholes in the Nakana Mountains, on the New Britain Island in Papua New Guinea. On the contact of limestone and insoluble rock below it, powerful underground rivers may form, creating large underground voids. In such conditions, the largest known sinkholes of the world have formed, like the 662-meter deep Xiazhuatiancong, giant Czar Cube Tanos and Cura Copyright Taro in San Luis Potosi states in Mexico and others. Unusual processes have formed the enormous sinkholes of Sistema Zacatecube Den in Tamaulipas, where more than 20 sinkholes and other karst formations have been shaped by volcanically heated, acidic groundwater. This has produced not only the formation of the deepest water-filled sinkhole in the world Zacatecubes Na, but also unique processes of travertine sedimentation in upper parts of sinkholes, leading to sealing of these sinkholes with travertine lids. The state of Florida in the United States is known for having frequent sinkhole collapses, especially in the central part of the state. The Merge area in southern Italy also has numerous sinkholes. Sinkholes can be formed in retention ponds from large amounts of rain. Human uses: sinkholes have been used for centuries as disposal sites for various forms of waste. A consequence of this is the pollution of groundwater resources, with serious health implications in such areas. The Maya civilization sometimes used sinkholes in the Yucatan Peninsula as places to deposit precious items and human sacrifices. When sinkholes are very deep or connected to caves, they may offer challenges for experienced cavers or, when water-filled, divers. Some of the most spectacular are the Zacatecube-dense Snout in Mexico, the Belize Manscott Sinkhole in South Africa, Sarizaria ± Armatpui in Venezuela, the Zacatecube del Barro in Mexico, and in the town of Mount Gambier, South Australia. Sinkholes that form in coral reefs and islands that collapse to enormous depths are known as blue holes and often become popular diving spots. Local names: large and visually unusual sinkholes have been well known to local people since ancient times. Nowadays sinkholes are grouped and named in site-specific or generic names. Some examples of such names are listed below. Black holes. This term refers to a group of unique, round, water-filled pits in the Bahamas. These formations seem to be dissolved in carbonate mud from above, by the sea water. The dark color of the water is caused by a layer of phototropic microorganisms concentrated in a dense, purple-colored layer at 15 to 20 am depth. This layer swallows the light. Metabolism in the layer of microorganisms causes heating of the water, the only known case in the natural world where microorganisms create significant thermal effects. One of them is the black hole of Andros. Blue holes. This name was initially given to the deep underwater sinkholes of the Bahamas but is often used for any deep water-filled pits formed in carbonate rocks. The name originates from the deep blue color of water in these sinkholes, which is created by the high clarity of the water and the great depth of the sinkholes. Only the deep blue color of the visible spectrum can penetrate such depth and return after reflection. Snouts. This refers to the characteristic water-filled sinkholes in the Yucatan Peninsula, Belize and some other regions. Many snouts have formed in limestone deposited in shallow seas created by the Chicxulub meteorite's impact. Zacatecube. This name is given to several giant pits in several states of Mexico. Tiancangs. These are extremely large sinkholes, typically deeper and wider than 250 am, with mostly vertical walls, most often created by the collapse of underground caverns. The term means sky hole in Chinese. Many of this largest type of sinkhole are located in China. Tomo. This term is used in New Zealand karst country to describe potholes. Piping pseudo-karst. The 2010 Guatemala City sinkhole formed suddenly in May of that year. Torrential rains from Tropical Storm Agatha and a bad drainage system were blamed for its creation. It swallowed a 3-story building and a house. It measured approximately 20 am wide and 100 am deep. A similar hole had formed nearby in February 2007. This large vertical hole is not a true sinkhole, as it did not form via the dissolution of limestone, dolomite, marble, or any other water-soluble rock. Guatemala City is not underlain by any carbonate rock. Instead, thick deposits of volcanic ash, unwelded ash flow tuffs, and other pyroclastic debris underlie all of Guatemala City. The dissolution of rock did not form the large vertical holes that swallowed up parts of Guatemala City in 2007 and 2010. The Guatemala City holes are instead an example of piping pseudo-karst, created by the collapse of large cavities that had developed in the weak, crumbly quaternary volcanic deposits underlying the city. Although weak and crumbly, these volcanic deposits have enough cohesion to allow them to stand in vertical faces and to develop large subterranean voids within them. A process called soil piping first created large underground voids, as water from leaking water mains flowed through these volcanic deposits and mechanically washed fine volcanic materials out of them, then progressively eroded and removed coarser materials. Eventually, these underground voids became large enough that their roofs collapsed to create large holes. Notable examples. Some of the largest sinkholes in the world are, in Africa and the Middle East, Barma Sinkhole, Wadi Shab and Wadi Tiwi, Oman, approximately 30 am deep. Blue hole Euro Dahab, Egypt. A round sinkhole or blue hole, 130 am deep. It includes an archway leading out to the Red Sea at 60 am, which has been the site for many freediving and scuba attempts, the latter often fatal. Belize Man's got a Euro South African freshwater sinkhole, approximately 290 am deep. Lake Kashiba Euro Zambia. About 3.5 hectares in area and about 100 am deep. Take Sinkhole Euro Oman. One of the largest sinkholes in the world by volume, 90 million am3. Several perennial wadis fall with spectacular waterfalls into this 250 am deep sinkhole. In Asia, Dashui Tiankanga Euro Gangxi, China. 613 am deep, with vertical walls, bottom contains an isolated patch of forest with rare species. Xianzhui Tiankanga Euro Chongqing Municipality, China. Double-nested sinkhole with vertical walls, 662 am deep. An 80-meter-wide hole was discovered in the remote Yamal Peninsula of Siberia in 2014. Betsikya Euro Russia. Unstoppable serial technogenic sinkholes over flooded potash mines and undertown buildings, roads, railways. In Europe, Red Lake Euro Croatia. Approximately 530 am deep pit with nearly vertical walls, contains approximately 280 Euro 290 am deep lake. Vuliagmeni Euro Greece. The sinkhole of Vuliagmeni is known as the Devil Well, because it is considered extremely dangerous. 4 scuba divers are known to have died in it. Maximum depth of 35.2 am and horizontal penetration of 150 am. In the Caribbean, Dean's Blue Hole Euro Bahamas. Deepest known sinkhole under the sea, depth 203 am. Popular location for World Championships of freediving. In Central America, Great Blue Hole Euro Belize. Spectacular, round sinkhole, 124 am deep. Unusual features are tilted stalactites and great depth, which mark the former orientation of limestone layers when the sinkhole was above sea level. 2007 Guatemala City Sinkhole, 2010 Guatemala City Sinkhole, in North America, Mexico, Cave of Swallows Euro San Luis Potosi. 372 am deep, round sinkhole with overhanging walls. Cima de las Cotorras Euro Chiapas 160 am across, 140 am deep, with thousands of green parakeets and ancient rock paintings. Zarcubtano de la Lucha Euro Chiapas. Bigger than Cima de las Cotorras and with lush vegetation on the floor. It can be reached through a cave. Zarcubtano del Barro Euro Cara Copyright Taro. 410 am deep, with nearly vertical walls. Zacatecube a Euro Tamaulipas. Deepest water-filled sinkhole in world, 339 am deep. United States Buckhorn Sinkhole Euro Assumption Parish, Louisiana. About 25 acres in area and 750 ft deep. The Blue Hole Euro Santa Rosa, New Mexico. The surface entrance is only 80 feet in diameter, it expands to a diameter of 130 feet at the bottom. Danisetta Sinkholes Euro Danisetta, Texas. Several sinkholes have formed, the most recent in 2008 with a maximum diameter of 620 ft and maximum depth of 150 ft. Devil's Millhopper Euro Gainesville, Florida 120 ft deep, 500 ft wide. 12 springs, some more visible than others, feed a pond at the bottom. Grassy Cove Euro Tennessee 13.6 km2 in area and 42.7 am deep, a national natural landmark. Gypsum Sinkhole Euro Utah, in Capitol Reef National Park. Nearly 15 am in diameter and approximately 60 am deep. Kingsley Lake Euro Florida 8.1 km2 in area, 27 am deep and almost perfectly round. Lake Pugnera Euro New Iberia, Louisiana. Original depth 1,500 ft, currently 142 ft at Diamond Crystal Salt Mine collapse. Baltimore, Maryland, Heavy rain results in a block's length of street collapsing into a sinkhole on April 30, 2014, in Oceania, Harwood Hole Abel Tasman National Park, New Zealand, 183 am deep. Minor copyright Sinkhole East New Britain, Papua New Guinea. 510 am deep, with vertical walls, crossed by a powerful stream. In South America, Cima Humboldt Venezuela. Largest sinkhole in sandstone, 314 am deep, with vertical walls. Unique, isolated forest on bottom. See also. References. External links, U.S. Geological Survey Water Science School page about sinkholes, Daily Telegraph slideshow of 31 sinkholes, video of sinkhole forming in Texas, Google map of deepest hole for each state, Tennessee sinkholes 54,000 plus sinkholes, James, Vincent. What are sinkholes, how do they form and why are we seeing so many? TheIndependent.co.uk. Retrieved February 19, 2014 A.